Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is the crew, and we're back for a second edition, second season, some may call it, of the Cornfed Coverage. I am Nathan, and this is.
I'm Chase.
And I'm Michael. And thanks for coming back. And thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. And we hope you enjoy the college football, NFL football season we got ahead of us.
Yeah, and before we get into predictions, don't forget to subscribe. If we get to 50 subscribers, we can start going live on YouTube and stuff. Um, and don't forget to comment any questions or statements that you have after our predictions here, if you agree or disagree with us. But we'll predict everything from Power Four conference winners, of course, Nebraska, and how we think they're going to do this year, the college football playoffs, and NFL playoffs, along with awards. So, full episode here today.
So, with that being said, I'm really excited to see the Huskers kind of take the field this fall. Um, I wasn't as excited in the winter, still kind of just numb. But I do think that the team's kind of rounded out pretty nicely, and I'm really excited to see this new look offense with the new offensive line, new quarterback, new running backs, or not new, but just kind of people who we didn't see too much of last season. Um, so I think that we're going to have a pretty solid season. Um, what are you guys feeling so far?
Yeah, I like. Obviously, we lost Royola in the off season, but we brought in Calandria, and I'm looking forward to kind of see what he's going to bring to the table. He's older, so maybe a little more leadership and just that dual threat ability. I think is the thing that's going to set him apart from Royola too. If our O line struggles, which I don't know if they will as much this year. Again, we brought in a couple transfer guys that could make worlds of difference. So I went from the season ending where I was pretty down on how he ended. Um, but looking back on it too, I mean, we were playing with a backup quarterback. I think Penn State, Iowa, and Utah all finished in the top 15 according to ESPN's like FPI, not ranking wise, but according to how good they are. So we just faced some hard teams at the end with our backup quarterback. So I'm starting to get optimistic here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that is not a knock on Latif at all because he was a
No.
true freshman quarterback
Yep.
being thrown to the wolves a little bit during the USC game late last year.
Yep.
Um, but Michael, what about you?
Uh, I'm optimistic. Well, I'm not as optimistic as I was last year, just because I haven't been drinking the Kool Aid this year. I've kind of come at it with a level head this season. Uh, Unironically, it's the year I'm going to the most games, so like I want to be optimistic to be able to enjoy those games. But our non-con, hopefully we can, win the games we're supposed to win and fight in the games that it's like a 50% and lower. I don't want to get blown out to the Penn States or Indianas. That,
Yeah.
but besides the point, to what Chase was saying about our O line, we got Jeep Wade with the new O line coach, and our O line looks a lot taller and bigger than they were last year. We got a couple of transfers, so that's always positive. And like you guys were saying, Calandria and Holgerson teaming up for this season is going to be huge. Hopefully, uh, they get dialed in and work out. Uh, I saw they were practicing plays with the option, so that was kind of exciting to
Yep.
see. Uh,
And Dana's talking about fullbacks.
yeah, that's
Yep.
huge. And then our defense, on the other hand, hasn't really been talked about too much this year. I know we got a new DC, and the
We
way
got a
things
lot
are
of
moving over there,
we got a lot of transfers in on
a
defense.
lot of new players too. Yeah. So hopefully they can mesh together, and like Van Poppel needs to have a good year, I hope, or I would say
Yeah,
overall this year.
Steer Whittington's going to be, I think, a real difference maker up on that line.
Yeah,
And
Owen Chambly at the linebacker core is going to be huge.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that McDougal in the secondary, he came over from San Diego State, So I think that with the new DC Arik being from San Diego State, I think that
Mhm.
he already knows the system.
Yep,
So,
knows the scheme.
mm-hmm.
Well,
And
the only
he's a recruiter, so he should kind of know how it runs within a program. Granted, not the same scale.
Nathan, what's your record that you have Nebraska at for this year?
I have us going 8-4 with losing to Oregon, Washington, Ohio State, and Iowa. I think our ceiling is 10-2 with we can beat Iowa and Washington. I think that those are pretty coin flip games. Uh, Granted, we'll see kind of how the year plays out.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty optimistic right now. But we'll see how we feel in 10 weeks. What about you, Chase?
I have us at 7-5. I know Vegas has our over under at 6.5, so I have us slightly doing better than what Vegas thinks. But I have us winning our first 3 games against Ohio, Bowling Green, North Dakota. Not too much to say there. We're the better team. We should be able to handle those 3. Then we're at Michigan State. I could see that being tough. Pat Fitzgerald has always gave us trouble before when he was at Northwestern, but I think we're the better team, and we should win that game also. Then we host Maryland. I like their quarterback, Malik Washington, a lot. He put up points against us last year, and we needed to come back with our offense there and had to put up like 36 points to win that game. But I like us there also. Indiana, Oregon, I think it's kind of just a level above us this year. I'm just hoping to see us be competitive in both those games, and who knows? Maybe we're down 7 in the fourth quarter, or we're tied in the fourth quarter, and anything can happen on any given Saturday. So
Especially in
you never
Memorial.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And if we start 5-0 like we think, I think Indiana is also going to be undefeated at this time in their schedule. So who knows what the vibe could be like in Lincoln for the Nebraska Indiana game. But I have us dropping both of those games, so we're 5-2 then. Hosting Washington for our blackout game. I think we had USC last year in this blackout game. I think we're going to get our revenge, even though it's not USC, but revenge on winning the blackout game. I like us against Washington to move to 6-2. Then we play Illinois. I feel like Illinois just has our number.
They
It's a
have our
Friday
number,
night.
bro. Brett Bielema.
I feel like it's just that type of team that gives Rule troubles too. Um, so I have us losing that game. Then we'll rebound, win on the East Coast against Rutgers. So we move to 7-3 then. Feeling pretty good, maybe ranked, but sadly I have us dropping our last 2 games to Ohio State and at Iowa to finish the year 7-5. And then hopefully a bowl win against a quality opponent.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
We had the
What about
Respectable.
you,
chance last
Michael?
year.
What'd you say?
We had the chance last year to win against a respectable opponent.
Yeah, Utah was ranked like number 12 or something when we
Yeah, we
played them.
somehow drew.
They were like 16, I
They-
think, or
They were
15.
Yeah,
They were in the hunt for the college football playoff.
Yeah,
yeah.
they dropped one too many games, I think, because they were 10-2 when we
Yeah.
played them.
Yeah, they might have lost to Texas Tech and BYU, something like that.
I think
But-
those were only losses.
Yeah. But besides the point, just so you guys know, I do have ESPN on my left side. So if you see me looking over there, it's because I was just looking at the schedule. I have tempered expectations this season. You guys are definitely a lot more optimistic because. So I have Nebraska winning their 3 non-con games. Like you guys were saying, those are games we're supposed to win. We should win those. They're being paid by us to come up here and play, so hopefully we'll win. But then once conference play starts, it's just wild west out there, especially with the transfer portal. And I mean, Maryland and Rutgers, we already played them last year, and we battled against them. But I think we beat Michigan State, so we'll go 4-0. And then I think we beat Maryland to go 5-0, but that's where it all starts crumbling apart.
Yeah,
We
schedule
host
takes a turn.
We host game day against Indiana here in Nebraska, and then we have another game day nightmare, like we did when we hosted Ohio State. So we lose to Indiana, we lose to Oregon, we lose to Washington, we lose to Illinois. We get a win back in the win column against Rutgers. Uh, we lose to Ohio State, and then we beat Iowa at Iowa to end the season on a high note.
You think we lose all those games and then we beat Iowa?
Look at the year we beat them at Iowa the last time that
Yeah, with
Nebraska beat Iowa with
We also
Mickey
fired our
Joseph,
head
Trey
coach.
Palmer.
Yeah, and we fired our head coach that year,
exactly
mid-season.
that is
Then
the year
fired
we,
the interim coach after that.
yeah. And look at that, we still beat you know who. Okay, I'm not saying it's impossible, but
I hear you. I'm not agreeing by any means.
with that win over Iowa makes us bowl eligible to go 6-6.
Okay.
So
Interesting. Okay.
I was like, it's not out of the realm, but that October 10th through
I don't think you guys realize how much
that month of
Illinois is
football.
going. Illinois is not going to be the team they were last year. I
know
don't.
they lost Oltmeyer, but
They lost a lot of seniors.
Yeah, but it's Brett fucking Belema, Nathan.
Bielema,
I
and
do
that
not
doesn't
care.
matter. Illinois, they're not Indiana.
I'm
No,
just always
but-
scarred by Illinois. I feel like we lose
Yeah,
to them in
it's
overtime.
I would
like
take
Minnesota.
Illinois over Minnesota any day of the week
I do agree with that because Minnesota
PJ
lately
Flack
has
always
been
has
awful.
our number.
for whatever reason.
I'm
Him and-
excited to not play Minnesota this year.
Yeah, me too. I'll take that. I'll take that and not having Michigan on the schedule or. Yeah, gosh, I don't want to
Except
do
we
that.
did at probably the three best Big Ten teams. Ohio
Yeah.
State, Indiana, Oregon, at least in my opinion, are all on our schedule.
But
I
we
think
don't
we're
have.
up there with the most preseason
strength
top
of
25 teams on our
schedule is-
schedule.
Our
We have a
strength
lot.
of schedule is crazy. But the
But-
Big Ten is also stacked. In
We do
itself.
have. Well, and we have. I believe it's 5 players in an award watch list preseason. So, who knows? We
We'll see.
could turn ahead.
Calandria had a good year at UNLV. He had him ranked.
He had a career year. So hopefully that he can come over here and translate that play
I think,
into the Big Ten.
I think he had over like 1,800 pass yards with 21 touchdowns and 8 picks. So
And we kept a lot of our receivers from last year too. I know we lost Emmett Johnson, but for the most part, and Lindenmeyer, he's still here too. So
Yep, and we got Quasi Gilmer to come in the portal.
yeah.
So, and I do think that our defense is going to be nasty this year. We're going to have a pretty physical team because I think that the team definitely heard everything that was kind of being said all offseason. But with that, let's go ahead and dive into our college football playoff predictions. Chase, do you want to go ahead and start us out with your bracket?
Yep. So these are the 12 teams I got make. Number 1, I think they're going to go undefeated this year. I think they're probably the most well-rounded team in the country. They even have a backup quarterback that was a 5-star recruit that is now their backup. So even if their quarterback gets hurt, they have someone with Big Ten playing experience, and that's Oregon. I think they'll be the 1 seed this year. I think they'll run their schedule and also win the Big Ten. Number 2, they have a pretty easy schedule this year. They have like 2 hard games. The rest are going to be able to fly. I got Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman, CJ Carr, they're going to be pissed that they got left out of the bracket last year. They're a team that actually maybe could have even gone on a run last year and they got left out. So I got Notre Dame at number 2. Then at number 3, I have my SEC champ, Georgia. I think Gunnar Stockton's a little underrated. Kirby Smart and them have kind of not been up to their standards lately. I think they come back this year. And then number 4, I got Indiana coming back, getting another first-round bye. They get, I think his name's Hoover from TCU in the transfer portal. TCU is not very good outside of Hoover last year, so I think they probably found another good quarterback in the transfer portal, someone that can run the RPO scheme for them. So I think Indiana's still going to be good next year. 5, I got the ACC champ Miami. They bring back a lot of people, at least on offense, with Tony and their other receiver is escaping my mind, but they bring back other people. The ACC's kind of down. I think they'll have a good record. 6, I got Texas with Arch Manning, Steichen coming back. I think they'll be decent. 7, I got Ohio State. I think they'll drop maybe a game to like Indiana and Michigan. They'll be 10-2, but that's still good enough to make the playoffs. Then 8, I got the Big 12 champs, Texas Tech. I think they might drop a game this year, so I don't have them higher, but I think they're still better than anyone else in the Big 12. 9, Oklahoma. I think they'll come back with a good defense. Um, can't think of their quarterback's name off the top of my head, but he was in the Heisman race for a while last year until he got hurt. He's back. He can move a little bit, so I think if their offense is just good enough, they'll be back in the playoffs. 10, LSU. Lane Kiffin, Sam Levitt.
Boo.
Lane Kiffin has the easiest offense to play for a quarterback. They have the number 1 transfer portal. There's always a team out of nowhere. I think LSU is going to make it. 11, I got BYU. Their boosters came together. They didn't let their coach go to Penn State. They kept him. They keep Bo, so they got a quarterback that can run all over the place again. I like BYU to sneak into the playoffs. And then 12, I got UNLV. I like the coach Dan Mullins, and I think they're going to be the out-of-conference team to make it.
Fair. Not bad picks.
I don't know if you guys want me to say who I have winning it then, but
who's winning the Heisman and who's winning it all?
Yep. The Final Four, I got Oregon versus Indiana, with Oregon going to the championship, and then Notre Dame versus Texas, with Texas going to the championship, and Oregon winning it all. I just think they're very well-rounded, pretty good team, and I think this is Dan Lanning's best chance to get a natty that he's had. And then Heisman, I got CJ Carr. I think with Notre Dame's easy schedule, he's going to put up big numbers this year. He was putting up pretty big numbers last year as a true freshman, and I just like what CJ Carr is going to bring to the table, throwing and rushing for Notre Dame. But what about you guys? You guys have any big disagreements or anything with what I said?
Overall, you and I have 3 out of the 4 same conference championship winners. So I had Texas Tech winning the Big 12, Louisville winning the ACC to beat Miami.
I don't mind it.
Oregon, I just love Dan Lanning. He's just gritty. They have a good schedule for the chance to go undefeated, like you were saying. And then SEC, I've got Georgia. Stockton and Frazier combo is going to be filthy this year. They have one of the best backs in the SEC. And I could see Nate Frazier winning the Heisman this year as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And then for my college football playoffs, I've just got the top 5. So I'm just going to go that route. But I've got Oregon at 1, Georgia at 2, Notre Dame at 3, because, like you were saying, it's their get back this year. They're going to make the college football playoff, have no reason to leave them out. And then 4, I've got Louisville winning. So I just think that
You're high on Louisville.
I am. I've been playing with them on one of my dynasties, and if I'm being honest, and they're kind of filthy.
I do think they'll be one of the better teams in the ACC, but I don't know if they're going to be able to run with Miami.
It's a video game, Michael.
You never know.
You never do that.
They've got.
Duke won the ACC last year with 5 losses.
Dude, they've got a big game against Ole Miss.
Duke, the ACC actually changed their conference championship rules.
Oh, so that it wouldn't happen like how Miami got left out.
Yep.
Of course they did. But besides the point. And then I've got Indiana coming in at 5 because they lose to Oregon in the Big Ten. But like you said, they'll have 1 or 2 losses and still be more than enough to get in. Number 6, if I'm just going off the dome, I'll throw Miami in there as they lose to Louisville in the ACC championship game, with that being their only loss. Uh, number 7, I've got A&M as they lose to Georgia in the SEC playoff or SEC championship game, but they still do more than enough to get in. I do think A&M's. I mean, they've got that NIL money. They've got the right offense. They're just gonna try and get back this year. Number 7, I've got.
You just said number 7, so number 8.
Sorry, number 8. Let's see. We're gonna throw SMU in there. Because why not? 'Cause why
3 of the
not?
top 8 teams being ACC.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you never
All right,
know.
let's go. What's number 9?
Number 9. Dude, how the hell is Penn State preseason ranked 18 and they just got a new head coach? That makes zero sense.
Because they had all of Iowa State's team transfer to Penn State.
That doesn't mean they're gonna do good.
Rocco
in the Big
Beck.
Ten.
Iowa State was ranked last year.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're gonna. Big 10 is better than Big 12. Sorry, I'm getting sidelined. Number 8, we're gonna throw Bama in there.
Number 9.
Yeah, number 9's Bama. You had SMU at 8.
Yeah.
Come on, Mikey.
Who do you got in your semifinals, and who's your champion?
Semis, I've got Oregon playing Notre Dame and Georgia playing Indiana. And then finals, I've got a Big 10 final in Oregon and Indiana with Oregon win.
I like it.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Gosh. Mikey.
My Heisman winner, as I said earlier, is Nate Frazier, by the way.
From where? Louisville?
Georgia. Put some respect
Oh.
on that man's name. But what about you, Nathan?
I've got Ohio State at 1, Miami at 2, Indiana at 3, Texas at 4, Georgia at 5, Notre Dame at 6, 7 is BYU, 8 is Oregon, 9 is Texas A&M, 10 is Texas Tech, 11 is LSU, 12 is North Dakota State.
Oh, curveball in there.
You're throwing
First-
North Dakota first year in D1.
First year, yes, they're going to
That'd be
go.
a story.
That
they're
would
gonna
be
make
one hell of a story.
And I have Jeremiah Smith winning the Heisman for Ohio State. But I also have, let's see, I've got Ohio State and Oregon on one side of the bracket, and give me Miami versus Georgia on the other. We'll take Ohio State and Georgia national championship with Ohio State winning it all.
I like it.
I think it'll be a very exciting year for college football, especially with Texas Tech losing their starting quarterback. I think that it'll be a very interesting year for the Big 12. I really like BYU to win their conference. I think it's a toss-up between Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon to win the Big 10. Any 3 of those teams could win it on any given week, I think.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame, I kind of went back and forth about putting them a little bit higher. But again, who they play? They've got 2 good games all season and in their conference, so no conference title.
Yeah.
Again, they may look great on paper against lesser teams, but they're not playing SEC teams, or Big 10 teams, or even Big 12 teams.
Yeah.
ACC's got solid teams too, so it's just like
Yeah, they need to join a conference.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Even if they're scared of the Big 10, they can join the ACC, and at least it's something.
Yeah, if they don't want to be in the Big 10, that's fine. Take the ACC. That's
Because
okay.
I know they do ACC for like basketball and stuff, but at least like rivalry wise, it seems like they should join the Big 10.
Mhm. Yep, exactly. But with that, who wants to get us started into the NFL playoffs? Let's go with Chase.
All right. For my AFC playoffs, I honestly kind of debated between the Bills and the Patriots to be the 1 seed. Sadly, only one of them can win their division. I went with the Bills. The Bills are the 1 seed.
Boo!
Ravens 2, Chargers 3, Texans at the 4, but I could see Jacksonville winning that division too. I was going back and forth between them. Then it's the top wild card team. I got the Patriots. That's the 5 seed. Chiefs make a little comeback here and they get in as the 6. Then I got the 7 seed Bengals making it. I think Joe Burrow can stay healthy this year, so I think they can make it in. And the teams I left out barely of the AFC is the Jaguars and the Broncos. Um, Broncos with the harder schedule, they're 11-1 in one-score games. Usually, you kind of regress back to the mean. They're not necessarily going to go 11-1 in one-score games this year. Hard division with Chargers and Chiefs, so I just have them on the outside too. Then in the NFC, I got Rams at 1. They're already booked their Super Bowl tickets. They're building a super team there. They're ready to go. Lions 2. They got a very easy schedule. I think they're going to bounce back. They don't even play a cold weather game till like week 17. I don't necessarily think the Lions are going to be the second best team in the NFC, but I think they get the 2 seed with an easier schedule, kind of like the Patriots did last year. 3, I got the Cowboys winning the NFC East this year.
Ow.
I think with the Eagles' offensive problems last year, and now they lose A.J. Brown, I just don't know if I see them getting back there, and if teams can stack the box,
They
not
got
allow them to run the ball. I don't know if Jalen
they
Hurts is really going to be able to pass this.
Ty Lemon.
That's true.
And
We'll have to see how Lemon looks, but
I think they're going to interesting for the Cowboys.
I like their offense a lot, and I think if their defense can just not be like the 32nd ranked team in the NFL, if they could be like not even
Decent.
like average, if they could just be like 20th or something, I think
Yeah.
the offense is going to keep them in a lot of games. And
That's
I
fair.
don't know. I just don't have the best feeling about the Eagles. So I got Cowboys winning that. Winning the NFC South, I decided to go with the Saints. Jordan Tyson's hurt now, which makes me scared a little bit. I was really close between the Saints and Buccaneers for this. I'm going to keep the Saints for now. I liked what Tyler Shuck showed at the end of last year. Their defense ended, I think, ranked 10th. I think they're the most well-rounded team in a weak NFC South. They got Trevor Etienne in the free agency. I think they should be okay. 5, I got the Seahawks as the best wild card team. 6, I got the 49ers. I think the NFC West is going to be good. Unfortunately, the Seahawks and Niners have to be wild card teams. And then 7, I got the Bears making the playoffs. And then coming out of the playoffs, my AFC Championship game is Bills-Chargers. Unfortunately, I took the Bills in that game, but I am high on the Chargers this year. Our center might have a pretty bad injury that I heard today, but we drafted a second-round guy, and I'm still just as high on the Chargers. But I got the Bills winning that game. Then in my NFC Championship game, I got a rematch, Rams versus Seahawks. But I got the Rams winning this time. And then the Super Bowl, Josh Allen finally gets it done. He beats the super team Rams. Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald couldn't stop him. Josh Allen gets the Super Bowl ring. What about you, Michael? What's your predictions for this year? Or do you have any comments on what I said?
I like it. Outside of you said Cowboys. I don't agree there. And I have the Bucks over the Saints. That's an interesting thing there. But they did add a lot. I like it. Outside of that, not terrible. I think the Niners are taking their division, me personally. Mine are I've got San Francisco winning the NFC, taking the 1 seed, Bears at the 2, Eagles at the 3, Bucks at 4, Seahawks 5, Rams 6, Detroit 7.
Okay.
And for the AFC, I've got the Bills 1, Chargers 2, Jags 3, Bengals 4, Chiefs 5, Patriots 6, Broncos 7. I don't know. I think that a healthy Chiefs team is definitely good enough to make the playoffs. I think the Bengals, if they can stay healthy, can definitely win games better than anybody else. And I think that they could beat the Ravens straight up. Um, I don't know what it is, but things in the NFC or AFC North just never seem to play out the way you ever think them to. And
Yep.
I think on paper the Ravens are better, but for some reason the team that's better on paper doesn't always win in the NFC North.
Yep.
For the Super Bowl, I've got the Niners going against the Bills, with the Niners taking the cake this year. As you can say, it's just a little bit biased. However, I really like the team, even with Pearsall being placed on injury reserve. Kittle may or may not be ready for week 1. CMC's got tightness. Bosa's kind of hurt too. But I think that we're going to be able to field a very solid team just like we did last year, even though we had very many injuries that were accounted for. For MVP, I have Mr. Brock Purdy taking home the hardware. I think with Mike Evans, Deshaun, Stribling, I think that it's just going to be a really nasty year for him. I think that he's looked really good through training camp. That's what all the reports are saying. His throws are looking crisp. I'm just all in on that this year. But I also really like James Cook to win Offensive Player of the Year. I think that when they added DJ Moore to their receiving core, that's going to help kind of just spread it out between the ground game and the passing game. Defensive Player of the Year for me is Will Anderson Jr. For the Texans. I think that, Myles Garrett switched teams, and that's who everyone's going to pick. But I still think that he's a very solid player. The Texans had a great defense last year. I don't have the Texans making the playoffs this year, but I do think that he'll do enough to be able to take home that award. And then my Offensive Rookie of the Year is Deshaun Stribling. I'm very high on this prospect. I was a little rash immediately after we drafted him, but that was before I looked at any of his tape and before I saw him in camp and in first preseason game. He sold me. He looks incredible, and he blocks too. So I think that he's going to have a hell of a season. But Mikey, are you ready down there?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's hear it.
For the AFC, I've got Pats at 1, Chargers at 2, Bengals at 3, Colts at 4, Ravens get a wild card spot, Bills get a wild card spot, and Chiefs get a wild card spot. I also left the Broncos out. For the NFC, I've got Lions at 1, Commanders at 2, Bucks at 3, Rams at 4, Niners at 5, Cowboys at 6, Bears at 7. For my Super Bowl, I have the Patriots versus the Niners, and I have the Patriots beating said Niners. MVP, I've got Drake May with the MVP season of 13-4. I'll go over that at a later time. For offseason or for Offensive Player of the Year, I've got AJ Brown. He's gonna have a comeback year. For Defensive Player of the Year, I might have to go with Myles Garrett. He's gonna have a hell of a year with the Browns, just like he always does. He just had
just broke the single season sack record.
Yeah,
you're part of the flock.
Myles Garrett's a
You can't
dog,
do that
bro.
you can't do that if Aaron Donald comes back.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The league is gonna be scared once Aaron Donald comes
The
back.
Niners are never scared of the Rams, regardless of who's on their team. Mike, you should know that.
Your guys' offensive line is going to have their work cut out for them if they have to go up against.
And that's why they will have the best offensive play caller in the league helping them out.
It's kind of debatable between Shanahan and McVay. I'd say one of those two. They're 1A, 1B.
Yep. Any given day. And McVay, usually, I would say last year, little bit of an anomaly, but usually we have the Rams number.
Yeah.
I
mean, you guys were able to beat them with Mac Jones in overtime in that one game. So
Thursday Night Football last
I
year.
kind of forget how your guys' second game with, if you guys split with them or if you 2-0'd them.
I believe we split.
I guess I haven't done my awards here yet.
That's why we were in the 1 seed conversation week 18.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then we lost to the Seahawks 14-6.
Yeah, and then a little bit worse in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
that game, the playoff one started with the Rashid Shaheed return.
Not as bad as the Patriots did in the Super Bowl.
It's okay. Michael will get his can try to get his look back in game 1 of the 2026 season.
Sorry, kids. Chase, what are your award predictions for the season?
Yeah, I kind of followed you guys similarly in MVP, where we're both going with our team's quarterback. I think Justin Herbert is about to be unlocked by Mike McDaniel.
We're all biased here.
I got Justin Herbert winning his first MVP.
Oh gosh.
Offensive player of the year, I like Jamar Chase. I know he just said something where he wants to get either the yards or the touchdown record, whatever it is. But I like Jamar Chase, and even their backup, if Joe Burrow does get hurt, all Joe Flacco did was just throw to Jamar Chase. So I think Jamar Chase is going to have a big year. And the defense player of the year, I also have Will Anderson Jr. I think he's just going to he just keeps getting a little better now. He's I think going to be year 4 maybe here, year 3 or year 4, and I just think he's really about to break out this season. Comeback player of the year, I think it's just going to be Mahomes since he got hurt last year, and I think he leads the Chiefs to the playoffs. I could see them giving it to Mahomes. Offensive player of the year or offensive rookie of the year. Let me see. I'll go Lemon. He'll take over for AJ Brown.
Eagles. Yep, that's solid. That's a solid pick. It's better than Jordan. Who the fuck's that?
Notre Dame tight end the Patriots got.
When was the last time a tight end won rookie? I guess Tyler Warren was pretty solid. Yeah. I don't think he won offensive rookie of the year though.
Loveland looked pretty good, but I think he was he didn't do as much. Loveland didn't do as much at the beginning of the year, but Colson Loveland looked pretty good by the end of the year.
Yeah, he did. He looked very solid at the end.
You never know.
But yeah, I'm very excited to see some meaningful football hit the screens. If you're interested, Chargers play the Niners in preseason week 2 Thursday night at 9 p.m.
Yeah, we'll get to see Nathan's favorite quarterback, Trey Lance, go on our little revenge tour. It should be fun.
Still got his jersey in my closet.
Nice.
But all right, well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Feel free to comment any questions or kind of what you think the Huskers record's going to be this season. And we'll be sure to address it next week in the episode. Well, I'm Nathan, and these are my buddies.
I'm Chase.
I'm Michael.
Thanks for watching the Cornfed Coverage. Come back next week. Have a good night.